Hey Lauren, how you doing? This is Joseph Graham with UpShot Solutions, LLC. I want to make this quick, short video for you just to show you something that I call the MCMs. And what those stands for is more calls, more sales. Okay, when it comes to marketing, the truth is you should be utilizing like every source possible, every channel possible. This is just some of the major channels, right? But there's a lot of different things you can do. All right. But what we want to focus on are these core elements, which are going to help you rank organically as you want. The first one that says GMB. You guys do have a GMB. It's this listing right here. Okay. When it comes to these GMB listings, they have to be optimized in a way. Okay. I wouldn't know until I actually go inside. You guys are making posts, right? They're having people ask questions and they're answering questions. It's good stuff. It's great stuff. But look at this. You see this number right here? This number is 860-200. And that number puts me somewhere in Connecticut for another listing, right? There's a disconnect right there. Because on your side, you clearly have this 817-294 number. So why is this other GMB number for? I know it's the same company, but this is their number, obviously, because whenever I type in the number, your citations should be pulling up, right? But next we have content. Okay, content is obviously the words on your site, and this is how you can get the most out of content. You can have someone make a video out of what's already written. So let's just use water extraction for an example. Now that the words are written on here, you can duplicate it in video format by just having somebody speak on camera, if that makes sense. Okay. I don't know if you guys do have the capability of adding more content, but there's nothing wrong with always adding more authoritative content, because people do ask a lot of questions when it comes to carpet cleaning, right? Or anything. They ask questions, and then whenever you can have like your experience and your authoritative answer for that question via text, content, or video, or both, right? You start to become the Wikipedia of it. A quick example of that, let's just say Wikipedia. So Wikipedia. You know what? There's a beer factory. There's a Miller factory right off of 35. So if I type in beer, Wikipedia pops up number 1, right? Wikipedia. Because Wikipedia always has the most authoritative and relevant content. See, this is just on beer. And they're just talking about all these different facts about the beer. And this is why they're able to hold this spot right here and down here, because they have the most authoritative content. So hopefully that makes sense. So it's no different for businesses and business services. Whenever you have the most authoritative content, guess what? You're going to end up taking those spots right there. Like water extraction service in Fort Worth. I don't know who ranks for that. The key is to have, just do the most as you can. Like if your competitors have 100 words on their page, you need 200. If they have 1,000, you need 2,000. So water. See, all these guys are talking about, water restoration. Like you have 378 words on water restoration, and this guy, Pure Clean, they have over like 13, almost 1,400. You see the difference? It's not just typing, but just having more authoritative content. Because we're kind of teaching Google, and Google learns as we explain more of this stuff to it, if that makes sense. And so it's going to be like, yeah, I learned the most from this website, so I feel like everyone searching for water restoration should see this one, because they have the best content on the subject matter. Okay, so that's content, right? Then we have citations. This is why I typed in that phone number, and I saw that it was a whole different phone number for a whole different GMB. A citation is whenever your business name, your business address, and phone number are being cited on the internet. So Facebook, if you have a Facebook page, Facebook is going to give you a citation, right? Now we see Show Me Local, B2B, City Local, Facebook, Punch Pull, and these are the different citations that you guys currently have, right? And I could find that just by typing in your phone number. Okay, so that's important. Always building those, steady building those. There's hundreds of places to get these citations, and so we just want to try to just anytime like we check a source and you're not there, why not just plug it in, right? Even Nextdoor, little stuff like that. Foursquare, Hot Frog. There's hundreds of places to get these citations done. And then you got backlinks. Now, of course, we know backlinks is like if your website was a race car, backlinks would be the fuel that you put into your race car. Okay? And so after looking, you said your dad did something and you guys temporarily popped up. Well, I can only assume that where he landed, so he may have temporarily placed your GMB in these top 3 map listings, map pack spots, and that's how you guys had like a super high volume increase in calls, right? This is typically what happens. I'm going to just explain this. So a website will start to rank, right? In low-hanging markets, it could end up in the organic sections pretty quick. In the low-hanging fruit market, you can end up here pretty quick. Like I have some with like 1 review. My competitors got some, but like I just did everything right, and so it ends up here. You're currently on page 2, depending on the search engine. But after you end up ranking on page 1, eventually, and then when you start doing the work to your GMB, then it'll start pulling through, right? It'll start pulling through because there's like, I don't know how many, there's at least 50 to 100 carpet cleaners in Fort Worth alone. And so after you start ranking on the organics, then slowly, after, like, if you guys steady building reviews, doing everything we're supposed to do, then you're going to start climbing these ranks. Okay? That's typically what I've been seeing over the last, few years. It didn't used to be called Google My Business. It used to be called like a G page. But that's what happens. And I'm assuming that your dad temporarily got it put in here. And people can do that when they put a bunch of spammy words behind their name. Best carpet cleaner in Fort Worth. I also wanted you to see how those guys had 2 GMB listings. When we looked for this water extraction, you saw there's Surf Pro. Surf Pro had a listing in West Fort Worth, and so they got a South Central Fort Worth. So Surf Pro has listings everywhere. Okay, everywhere. But I can tell you this, you do not have to have a physical location to set one of these up. You don't. We just need to have an address. Personally, like I'll set one up South Fort Worth, North Fort Worth, East, West, downtown, and try to set these up everywhere. Because each GMB, like a GMB on Southside, is not going to be found as easily as it would if I lived on North Fort Worth. So if I lived in Saginaw, right, or Diamond Hill, and I look for a carpet cleaner, I'm going to find people that are local to me, rather than have everyone down here pull up. They're going to show me the nearest and best results first. This is why I like to set up different ones. And for each GMB, you do have to have a different phone number, okay? So just something you could do yourself just really quick, go in and put the correct phone number, this phone number, on your map listing, okay? Because you have to keep the citation information consistent. It has to be the same business name, the same phone number, the same address, all the way around. You can't just use this number and then use that 8860 number, you know what I mean, and then mismatch information. So every location has to have the same information. Awesome? Awesome. And since you are kind of savvy on this whole backlink deal, this is your backlink profile. This is a tool called Majestic. I have a bunch of different tools, but this is majestic, right? And just off the top, like I can see like your strongest backlinks just by let me see. We can go to backlinks, trust flow, and so you don't really have like, this is your strongest backlink, and this has a 25/42, but they're only giving you a 1/2. So it has this much juice initially, but they're only passing on this much, right? I just want to show you this so you can just kind of see. And so these are your strongest ones popping up right here. Okay. Then you got like someone like Puro Clean, who's freaking huge, you know, and they're getting links like this. So that's a big difference. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. But other than that, like everything is fine, you know, possibly adding some more content, fixing your GMB up a little bit. There is a free website you guys should be utilizing on that GMB. Yeah, so go back to the, okay, so optimizing the GMB, you always want to keep making those posts. They're making posts like you would on Facebook. You can actually share the same post. Any post you would make on Facebook, share it to your GMB, which is also going to share it to your Instagram account, right? Keep building content. You know, if you guys have a blog, you know, keep blogging. Maybe take some of this content, find someone you know who's okay on camera. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just like explain the content in the video form. That way you can kind of duplicate it and get more out of it. Kind of like squeezing the juice out of a fruit, like, you know, all the juice out of it. Keep building those citations, right? And then of course we got the backlinks, and I just pretty much showed you that. And yeah, your rankings. Put it back. Yeah, your rankings have taken a dip, but we're not just ranking your website, okay? Everything is in tandem. This is why I said publish that free Google site, that free website that's on the GMB, because we'll be sending backlinks to that as well. Anything you have on the internet has a URL. This whatever.com, www, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It has a URL. Everything with the URL gets backlinks to it. That's just how it goes. That's what we like to do. Try to rank your Facebook page, your Yelp page, your GMB, you know, your website, your different pages within your site. Everything has a different URL, and everything needs links to try to, you know, balance that out. So hopefully this was informational. I'm sorry it was 12 minutes. Yeah, I'll be giving you a call in a few hours, okay?